Hello and welcome back to Math Class with Mr. Kura. Today we're going to be talking about Pythagorean Theorem. So what is Pythagorean Theorem? First of all, we use Pythagorean Theorem to help us find a missing side, one missing side of a right triangle. So first of all, what the heck does a right triangle mean? A right triangle means a triangle like this that has, we'll have this box here and it tells us this is 90 degrees, this angle. So a right triangle means it's a triangle with a 90-degree angle in it. And we can use Pythagorean Theorem for any right triangle, any triangle that has a 90-degree angle in it. Then what is Pythagorean Theorem? This is an equation that we have to memorize. So it's going to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now the only A, B, C, the only side that matters if we get the right one is the C. The C is always the hypotenuse, is what we call this, the hypotenuse. Here's that word, hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is this angle that is across from the right angle, or from that 90-degree angle. So C is always going to be your hypotenuse, or that angle, or the side across from your 90-degree angle. That's called the hypotenuse. And then these sides are called legs. We call these legs. Like this, leg. Legs and hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, legs. All right, so now let's do an example here. So if we had a triangle that is, we would be given some sides of the triangle. So like 3 and 4, and we're trying to figure out what this what the third side is here. So we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to do this. So we're going to say A, we're going to take our A here. We'll rewrite the equation. Let's say A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we don't know C, right? That's kind of our unknown. So we're going to just keep this as C squared. A and B, it really doesn't matter which one's which. They're interchangeable because we're going to add them up. So when we add things, it doesn't matter if I add 4 plus 5 or 5 plus 4. I get the same 9. It doesn't matter what order I add them in. So A and B are interchangeable. So this will become 3 squared plus 4 squared. And we got these numbers from here. That's where our 3 and 4 came from. Now let's just start to simplify it. So 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. So now 9 plus 16 is 25. Now you might recognize this right away and know what C squared is, because we have to know that, okay, what number do I multiply with itself to make 25? So C equals 5. Some of you may know that just right off the top of your head. If not, we have to just use our normal method of solving equations to undo things. To undo things, you do the opposite. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. When I take the square root of something that's squared, that's all this messy square root and squared cancels out and just becomes C equals 25. The square root of 25 is 5. So C equals 5. This is 5 up here. Now let's see what if we had a different one that was we're trying to figure this out. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our two legs, or our A and B, are 6 and 8. Let's kind of go like this, and we'll do it down here. We'll say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Then our a, let's call a 6. So we'll say 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. Start to simplify it further. 6 squared is 36 plus 8 squared is 64 equals c squared. Let's see, this is 90, 100. If when I add these up, I get 100 equals c squared. To figure out what this is, if you don't know what c is, that's fine. Take the square root of both sides. C equals square root of 100 is 10. So this is 10 here. So that's how Pythagorean theorem works. That's a good introduction to it. Thanks again for spending time in math class with Mr. Kura, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.